And that agenda is UNESCO's transnational heritage. That is what Project MAUSAM was all about. Why transnational heritage? Transnational heritage because it connects countries, it connects communities, and brings this Project MAUSAM on the global stage. It has geopolitics, which I will come to, but please remember that this is not maritime history or maritime archaeology, but is very specifically aimed at a global platform. What is different is shipwrecks. What is different is underwater archaeology. India is not a signatory to the 2001 convention, but there are reasons for it. And Admiral Chauhan mentioned legislation, because we do not have legislation to protect underwater heritage. We have legislation for land heritage, but not for underwater heritage. And we have to have this legislation in keeping with international requirements. So until we have that, and unfortunately, we also then don't have shipwrecks. So how do shipwrecks help? I mean, how does it solve the problem? Southeast Asia has more than 100 shipwreck sites. You can see the dots on the map. Most of these ships carried Chinese ceramics. So what do we find when we get a shipwreck? We find a lot of Chinese ceramics. So how does that then conflate into a narrative? Straightforward. Chinese ships carried Chinese ceramics. So China is the dominant power in the Indian Ocean, because these ceramics are being carried from about 700 AD onwards. Whereas we have yet to discover shipwrecks in our, in the Indian Ocean. Salsette today is on the outskirts of Mumbai, but it has nationally protected monuments, the Kanheri caves. These Kanheri caves connect not just are based not just on the island, but also connect to the other sites in the mainland. And you have a list of sites and the arrows that I have marked. It also connects to another island, which is Socotra. And why is Socotra important to us? There's a cave on Socotra, which is called the Hawk Cave. It is a 2-kilometer deep cave. And why it is important is that people visited this cave. They left inscriptions. And which language or which script are these inscriptions? These inscriptions are in Brahmi, which was a script that we used in India, and it is also used in Southeast Asia. So there are almost about 200 graffiti and drawings. Offerings were made in this cave. The maximum number of inscriptions, 192, are in Brahmi. So can we then think of Salsette to Socotra as a transnational nomination? What would our criteria be? And what can we use as the criteria? Now, UNESCO requires only one criterion, but it can be more than one, the better for it. So one criterion we already have, which is it should be a place of interchange of human values. And Socotra, certainly, I will come in a moment to what this human value can be. But Socotra is a place, it is a cave, it has inscriptions, it was a place where people halted. The Greeks talk about Indians, Arabs, Greeks settled on this island. So clearly, we can think of nominating on the basis of interchange of human values. But all along, from Egypt, from Berenike, right along the South Arabian coast, you have several sites where there is evidence of writing, particularly Brahmi. So the point I'm making is there is cultural connect. There is connect in terms of writing. There is connect in terms of the people who traveled and who moved on. And there is also connect in terms of architecture, which I will come to in a moment. These landmarks, this is Mahabalipuram, which you all know. But what I would like you to sort of see is the bottom slide, the lighthouse. The lighthouse is located very close to an early temple, which was the Ulakanishwar temple, which is on top of the Mahishasur Mardini cave, which was used as a marker for incoming ships. And this was before the 18th century, before lighthouses were built. So my final point is, let's not wait. Let's work towards a transnational nomination. We have friendly neighbors. Leaving aside Pakistan and the others, Maldives now, certainly Kuwait, certainly Vietnam, and perhaps even if we don't have the 39 countries that ASI is looking at, if we have 4 or 5 countries with whom we can tie up, with whom we can make a proposal to say that we can transcribe this transnational nomination based on these 1 or 2 criteria.